violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Sunday marks the last chance for old Fourth Ward residents to apply for a special guaranteed income program. And women who are accepted to the income initiative will receive $850 a month for 2 years.
Applications are open through May 15th, and all new at 5, Liza Lucas joins us now and explains how this pilot program is prompting a lot of interest online and questions about how these programs operate.
As one basic income program accepts applications, a similar program in Atlanta is already underway. So I checked in with organizers and recipients to learn how it's all working.
All right, so they're implementing this UBI program, which is Universal Basic Income, which, I mean, I guess it's more RBI, Regional Basic Income, because this is only in Georgia, where sisters, most likely single mothers, are applying for this. I don't know if it's a grant, but basically they're going to be able to get a stipend, about $850 a month, to sustain their lifestyle. And there was a lot of controversy when this first was reported, you know, and this is my thing. I just don't want it to come out. I don't want the taxpayers to have to flip the bill, which we obviously know that that's what it's going to be. And in my opinion, yes, this money will help in the short term, but in the long term, you know, it's not going to be adjusted for inflation. There's going to be a whole lot of other factors that are going to play into the part of making this 850 feel more like 250. But I mean, I'm not hating on the program, but if I had an option to vote for it or not to vote for it, I probably wouldn't vote for it, especially if I knew that I was gonna have to be paying taxes for people who you know, ended up not making the best decisions. So let's get into it.
Belinda Hunt has big dreams for her family, dreams of becoming a pilot, and dreams for the day she won't have to struggle to get by.
Making $22, $24 an hour, but when I get my check, I barely even have my rent to pay.
Okay, so $22 to $24 an hour is pretty damn good. And you know, let's do the math. If you can't pay rent with 22 to 24, let's just say conservatively $23 per hour. And to me, it sounds like maybe she's not working full time. Because if you're working $23 an hour full time, you're getting $920 a week. And that's $3,680 a month. So let's just say on the high end, a high scale apartment in Atlanta. Actually, as a matter of fact, the apartment that Kevin Samuels was staying in was about $1,900 to $2,100. So let's just say max she's paying $2,100. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. $2,100, so she has $1,500 left, almost $1,600, $1,580 of potentially expendable income. To me, this sounds like it's more of a work ethic problem, maybe a babysitting problem, because, you know, who's gonna watch them kids, and you know, a spending problem. Okay, a spending problem. You know, and that's for a high-end apartment. So if she's more conservative, she could probably walk away with about $2,000 profit every month if she's working 40 hours a week. So I don't see how or why she would need that extra $800, especially if the taxpayers are going to have to flip the bill. See, that's just me doing simple math, but I know that she's got kids And my question is, where's the father?
With rising housing and other costs, getting ahead just hasn't happened for the mom of four. Until earlier this year, she got a bit of a break.
When they put me into the program and offered, they was like, can you use that money? Yes, I can use it.
Belinda, one of the initial recipients of the City of Atlanta's Impact Program. The program, one of the last initiatives of former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, gives 300 Atlanta residents $500 a month for 1 full year with no strings attached. The recipients all live 200% below the federal poverty line. The money meant to help move families forward.
Some families use it for education purposes, which advances their income. Transportation, which opens up opportunities for better jobs.
And what I will say though, these sisters are taking advantage of these programs, okay? They really are. And I don't know if there are financial programs like this for black men, but brothers could really use something like this, especially if we're gonna make the excuse that the reason why we have so many super gremlins on demon time is because of poverty.
Nancy Flake Johnson is president of the Urban League of Greater Atlanta, the group charged with managing the Impact Program. While recipients can spend the money as they choose, she says funds are closely tracked, with each recipient required to regularly report how they're spending the money.
Been studying aeronautics.
For Belinda, $500 a month has gone towards supplementing basic bills, giving her flexibility to work and pursue her pilot's license. She also used a little to throw her son a birthday party.
I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it helps. I know that in the long run, once I complete this program, I'll be able to take care of me and my family.
Around 7,000 people applied for the Impact Program, and the first recipients, like Belinda, they received their funds in January, but the majority, they're actually going to get their funds starting in June. So expect to hear a lot more info in terms of results over the course of the next few months.
The City of Atlanta program is modeled after other city-based programs in Tacoma, Washington, Rochester, New York, and Los Angeles.
News right now at 5. Police investigating a shooting on Campbellton Road. Alan Devlin live at the Breaking News desk.
And Rick, we just got new information here in the last 5 minutes. This shooting has turned into a homicide.
So first reports came out that it was a shooting on Campbellton Road, which we've covered on this channel. Very dangerous area in the Metro Atlanta area. And now it's been confirmed that it is indeed a homicide, man. I mean, we ain't getting no breaks out here in the A, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
One man succumbed to the injuries he sustained there at the scene. We've got a live camera out. I want to put you out right now. This is a look there right on Campbellton Road next to Ye's. And as you can see, a little bit of a fitness center there. 2260 Campbellton Road Southwest is that exact address. Police just spoke to CBS 46 and let us know that 3 men were outside of this establishment fighting. That is when one of them pulled a gun and shot another one. We can see cop cars still out there right now. And of course, investigators at the front door of Ye's Botanica, which we have learned is a spiritual supply store of some kind right now.
Wow. A spiritual supply store. So they're probably selling herbs and potions and incense and whatnot. Okay. These are for your earthy sisters, your earthy brothers, okay? People who are trying to become one with the land again. And even the earthy brothers are on demon time.
Now, police are hunting for a person of interest in this investigation. And of course, as I said, again, one man has succumbed to his injuries after being shot there on Campbellton Road. We're going to keep you updated as this one moves forward, as well as the developing details on the search for this person of interest. We'll keep you updated right here at the Breaking News Desk. Live from the Breaking News Desk, I'm Alan Devlin. Back to you guys in the studio.
On the rise in murders across Metro Atlanta, we'll combine that with worker shortages for police departments, and you have a very tough year for Atlanta's homicide detectives. New at 6, Channel 2's Lori Wilson spoke with those detectives about the big challenges they're facing.
It's been about since September, since I've had a full off day.
And shout out to Ralph Woolfolk. He's pretty much doing a bulk of the work when it comes to these homicides in the A. So he's definitely working his ass off. No days off. This is how you work, man. This is how you work, and it shows that he really cares and he is really trying to make an impact in the community.
Atlanta Police Lieutenant Ralph Woolfolk looks familiar.
Shots were fired. There were shots that were fired.
It's because he's responded to almost every homicide in the city since he took over the department in August. Dedication, he says, is shared by every member of his team.
When they catch a case, it is full on. It is nonstop. They do whatever they have to do to make sure that we are driving these cases forward in the right direction.
At a time when homicides are up and his department is down 6 detectives, Woolfolk says they're keeping up with the caseload 3 ways. First, by using dedicated case coaches to help new hires.
And that's crazy, man. They're down detectives. They're understaffed. And this is the issue that I have with this defund the police rhetoric. Now, Atlanta basically said, hey, we didn't, especially when Keisha Lance Bottoms was in power, they said, hey, we didn't defund the police. We never defunded the police. Well, the rhetoric that she had against the police, especially after the Rashard Brooks situation, made it so that police realized their value. They really did. And they realized that they were not being valued enough in Atlanta. And that's why a lot of people resigned, a lot of people quit, a lot of people left the city, because they realized that, hey, we're not going to get any support and backing if we have to, subdue one of these super gremlins in order to keep the community safe.
2019 was my first full year here. We had 99 cases.
You got a lot of newer detectives that don't have a lot of experience. So it helps when you have a more experienced detective come in and start kind of guide them in the right direction.
Second, a streamlined process of reviewing open cases every 7, 14, 30, and 60 days, and deciding as a team when to bring in more resources. And finally, making sure detectives get the support they need to stay healthy and maintain a work-life balance, which can be tough in a job where the victims and the suspects you caught.
If we just got him 12 hours earlier, we would have prevented another person from being shot by that same suspect.
And those you haven't caught.
This case, I have no idea. No idea.
And the scenes you see are always top of mind.
We see some brutal things. It can be hard to separate that.
You know, from a health and wellness standpoint, it's important for us to monitor all of our detectives and make sure that we're managing what they're seeing and how they're dealing with this stuff day to day.
Woolfolk says sometimes it can take years to solve a case. Maybe they're waiting for evidence to come back or cell phone records. But he says the best help in solving any homicide are tips from the public. In downtown Atlanta, Lori Wilson, Channel 2 Action News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
It's a case that began in 2017. Monday night, Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug's attorney Brian Steele, told us something along the lines of, Mr. Williams committed no crime whatsoever. We have not been able to reach him about what we have learned now, but it appears Young Thug's legal problems are not limited to the case in Fulton County. that has made such big news this week.
I'm a real citizen. I got kids and everything. I don't need nobody saying me going to jail about nothing.
It appears the Fulton County RICO conspiracy case that broke this week against music stars Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug, and Sergio Kitchens, a.k.a. Gunna, lawyers for both have suggested they're innocent, is not the first time the pair has been linked in a criminal case, and that these images relate to a DeKalb County case dating back to 2017 and a vehicle stop by Brookhaven Police near Peachtree DeKalb Airport.
So you see Young Thug's attitude when getting pulled over by the police. You see he has no respect for law enforcement. You see that he, he basically is dealing with this situation like most of these super gremlins deal with interactions with the cop, back talking, bad mouthing, disrespecting. So you ask yourself, hey, why are African Americans disenfranchised when it comes to interactions with the police? Well, a lot of it has to do with the way you carry yourself.
Also involving a third suspect.
I'm supposed to perform with Jimmy Fallon.
Documents indicate Williams, Kitchens, and the third suspect were indicted in DeKalb in 2018.
You got dope, you got money, you got guns. Trifecta, okay?
That Williams...
Dope, money, guns. The trifecta.
A.k.a. Young Thug's charges included possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute, possession of hydrocodone with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of amphetamine, possession of alprazolam, 2 counts of possession of codeine, and 1 count of possession of firearm during commission of a felony. We found this photo in court records. There's a not guilty plea. Records indicate Kitchens was accused of a window tint violation to which he pled guilty and received a fine and probation suspended upon full payment of fine and surcharges, and a possession of marijuana less than an ounce charge, which was nalprost.
Man, and the fact that him and Young Thug had gotten in trouble before, and he didn't see the writing on the wall, like, hey man, this friendship is not worth my freedom. I'm very disappointed in Gunna. I'm very disappointed, okay? You've been in these situations before where the people that you people that you know surround themselves with got them in trouble. And yet you still hang out with Young Thug, who is obviously a negative influence on your life. All in the name of pushing P.
The DeKalb DA's office has indicated that Kitchens in this case is indeed Gunna. A transcript suggests 3 officers then with Brookhaven Police testified in a hearing that one of them indicated he told another officer that when I made contact with the car that I smelled raw green marijuana coming from inside the car, and that I was going to remove all 3 passengers and conduct a probable cause search of the car. And that the third suspect, not Young Thug or Gunna, was claiming everything I pulled out of the car. A document indicates that a DeKalb judge ruled, quote, the prosecution failed to present credible evidence that this vehicle was violating the law when stopped, unquote, and that evidence including statements, firearms, and supposed drugs must be suppressed. But a Georgia Court of Appeals opinion indicates the state appealed and the appeals court reversed. Now, the DeKalb DA's office says the DeKalb case against Young Thug is still pending, that the Court of Appeals ruling is critical to being able to move forward, and now prosecutors are waiting for the DeKalb court to set the case on a calendar. We are able to find the public records to tell this story through the DeKalb Superior Court Clerk's Office. Expect to hear more about this one, too. Reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
So, guys, we saw Young Thug's attitude toward law enforcement, and now he is being indicted and charged with a multitude of different crimes that he's been involved with. And he had a bond hearing where he spoke to the judge, who was a brother, and he was asking for bond so that he could, like I showed you guys in the live stream, use that time that, you know, they go give you to spend with your family, as he described it, to get his ass and titties done.
Hey, I'm on that Hugh Hefner shit, man. If I ever was to have to go sit down 20, 25 years, the time they let you sit at home with your family, I'm bound to go get my motherfucking breast did. I'm bound to get my titty did so I can do my 25 year with hoes. Have me some fun, man. I don't get tired. Kevin.
So this is him begging, pleading, crying to the judge for leniency and a simple bond, which him and Gunna's bond were both denied. and rightfully so. So this is him crying, not keeping it street, not keeping it gangsta, as they say, pleading to the judge for a bond, begging the judge for a bond. And this is your gang leader.
Mr. Williams would like to say something to
All right, man. I give everyone an opportunity to stand up, man. You'll be sworn by Deputy Cooper. Swear, man.
Raise your right hand, sir. You swear affirm the testimony you give today to be the truth, the whole truth.
So he's swearing on his right hand, which is supposed to be against the street code as well. You know, according to Tupac, he's supposed to look the judge in his eyes and put 2 middle fingers up. And why didn't he keep that same energy that he had with the police officers when he was arrested before with the judge? I think it's starting to hit home for Young Thug.
And nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury.
Yes.
State your name for the record.
You may lower your hand.
Jeffrey Wood. Thank you.
Yes, sir. What do you want to tell me?
I'm sorry for disobeying the court. I'm sorry for disobeying my PO and being here again. And
So he's sorry. That's all he's got to say. Sorry for being associated with these YSL gang members who've committed murders in furtherance of the gang, an overt act in the furtherance of the conspiracy. Sorry, Judge. My bad.
Just want to be home with my family and do right. And I know I just got so many millions of people that pays attention to me, and it's like I live so different.
So now he's trying to make the excuse, I live different, I'm a celebrity, I got people looking up to me. It ain't gonna work, okay? It's not gonna work. And my thing is, I take issue with the way that he is doing this is because if any other, if he would make fun of, if he was free right now, he would make fun of guys who were pleading, begging to the judge. And he's been locked up for 6 days now. The reason why I think he's going so hard, and well, he's not going hard, but the reason why he's trying to plead and beg the judge is because he's obviously going through withdrawals in his cell. Okay? Obviously, he's a drug user, drug addict, if you will. And he's going through withdrawals in his cell. So that pressure is getting to him. The mindset is getting weary. His patience is withering down. And if he can't do 6 days, and he's restless and disgruntled over 6 days in jail, he ain't even in prison yet. What makes you think that this dude is gonna stand tall? And as a matter of fact, I think that he might set an example for all the other rappers. I think him and Gunna might look, man. We're the two people who have the most to lose. Why don't we just come together and give a statement? Why don't we just, put it all on those other guys those 26 other guys who are co-defendants, our 26 co-defendants. We should just put everything on them. Okay? And this is how these people move. This is how these super gremlins on demon time operate. There is no loyalty. Okay? There is no, YSL till we die. No, it's YSL till you get locked up. And then the judge and the prosecutors present you a plea deal, a plea bargain that gives you the least amount of jail time or maybe not any jail time at all.
Not blaming it on that, but it's like these last 6 days, it's like every time, these last 6 days was like the 6 days when I came back down to reality and I understood that, this is real life. This is not, I got sons that's 10, 11 years old.
So you heard what he said. These last 6 days brought me down to reality. So now you want to be down to earth. A few weeks ago, you was flexing like this, talking about, hey, we gonna get this nigga killed and we gonna get him hit and we gonna... No regard for the lives of others. So why should the judge spare you or give you pity when you have no regards for other black men who you called hits on, okay, who you sent out other brothers to go do your bidding in furtherance of this gang, why should the judge spare you? And it sounds like he didn't even have what he was going to say thought out or written out. He just, all right, let me say something, see if this worked.
Nah, this is real life. This is not, I got sons that's 10, 11 years old. They look up to me. I don't even want them to think like going to jail, even if you're able to get right out of jail. It's cool, I just want to.
Oh, you're not about to get back right out of jail. And this is the funny part. Listen how he's talking about his children. I got a son and I got kids, and I don't want them to think that going to jail is cool, but you're rapping about going to jail and doing hits and doing drugs and doing all this type of stuff that leads you down a path to drugs. And guess what? He doesn't care about your kids who listen to his music and are influenced about influence from his music and then go to jail. So why should we care about his kids when he goes to jail and leaves them without a father and one of his children without a mother, the woman who was actually shot at the bowling alley? Why should we care about how your kids feeling about it when you have led multitudes of black men down a path of destruction repping this YSL BS?
You know what I'm saying? I want to just grow because I'm honestly grown. I just make mistakes.
I'm grown, but I make mistakes. You are a grown ass man talking about some slat, calling dudes your bae, your hubby, singing on the track like, you can hear that his voice is not like that. And I'm not saying that you can't be creative on the track and whatnot, but it's about what you're saying. It's about how you're presenting it. It's about the message that you're putting out. And quite frankly, the message that you're putting out are leading children, black children, down the path of becoming a super gremlin on demon time.
I'm not been penalized for it, but I'm sorry and I won't disobey you again. I'm great.
That's how I wrote a song. Hello there, Your Honor. I wanna say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger in this life I chose. But I want you to know that door I closed. And Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. To my mother, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. To the victim, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. Oh. Thank you, Your Honor.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.